that should be illegal. And that should also be illegal. Like multiple felonies illegal. What a run. What a build so far, right? Hey, hi, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Goat Force Gaming channel, where we play the roguelikes and the roguelites. Folks, it's that time again. Yes, we are back with more tiny rogues, because this game has gotten such a hold on me. I have to tell you, you're probably aware we've done a lot of videos on the game because it's just that good. This is a continuation of the series where we're looking at the brand new update to the game, Between Heaven and Hell, that has added so much new content, new characters, new weapons, new items, new traits, new areas, terribly difficult bosses that we've run into. If you were with us last time, you know that we put together a very nasty auras build that got us the W against Primal Death, a very difficult adversary. But it was a very enjoyable run. The auras were incredible and had gone all the way outside of the stage. If you missed that run, you may want to go in and check it out, especially if you're thinking about putting together a nasty auras build. So, with the win against Primal Death, we opened up the possibility of getting into both heaven and hell now. And so today, I wanted to try and put together a really great Gunslinger build and get all the way to heaven and take out the guardian of the area. If we can do that, we're going to open up access to one of the new characters that I'm excited about, the Cyborg. So, we're going to try to have a good run here today. I can already tell you that you're going to want to stay tuned because I played this run the other day, and this is a watch party, and I can tell you that things are going to get ridiculous. And if you like the sound of lightning-based weapons and ridiculously fast kills, you know, you're going to want to stay tuned. Because this build should have been illegal. This shouldn't be allowed in this game. The other thing we're going to do today, while we take this in, is we're going to give you a proper December update. I do the update videos on a monthly basis to let you know how the channel is doing. And it's a time where we take a look at the channel analytics and we try and geek out on all the data. And I talk to you about views and how the community's doing and growth and everybody's favorite topic, revenue, so that you can see what I see. Because I would want nothing else but to be transparent with all of you. After all, you are the folks that help create this place, and by watching the videos, you're enabling all of this. So, again, in case it wasn't clear, my thanks to you, as always, for all of the support. I'm going to comment on things happening in the video along the way, as well as we get into the update. We'll probably get into some other topics as well, but yeah, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. And, you know, I'll tell you now at a high level that December was awesome. Last year was awesome. 2024 is going to be awesome. How about that? How about that? So let's get into it. Let's get into it. But before we do, let's say cheers to you. I hope you've got something awesome in your cup. I don't know that it's going to be as awesome as what I got in my cup, but I'm hoping that yours is awesome as well. I am drinking a cup called Sweater Weather, and I like a good shotgun. I like it even more if it is a poisoned shotgun. Sometimes I see what's available, and I take a look, and I go, you know what? I don't even need to see the other items. Do you do that too? And then maybe when you leave the room, you're going, oh, maybe I should. I wasn't having any post reservations at this point. I knew that me, the poison shotgun, and the goo guy were a good setup so far. Because of all of you being so nice and complimentary in your comments and replies, reminding me to not miss the shinies, you're going to see me doubling back quite a bit before I go through the door just to make sure that I'm not missing any of those. Sometimes I don't have the damn bomb that I need to open it up. It happens. It happens. Still working to get that meta progression upgrade where, if you don't have one of the items, you can pick from keys, bombs. I think there's one other. It'll just give you one. See, this build was looking good so far, and I thought, we can probably make this even better. We've got the whole lucky shot, doubling down thing. I was happy. I was happy so far. So, Sweater Weather. This has notes of molten lava cake, toffee, and nuttiness. And this is from Broadcast Coffee out of Seattle, Washington. Another brew from the Beanbox monthly calendar coffee that my wife got me. The Advent calendar thing. That's the word I was looking for. Advent monthly calendar coffee. Listen, I better take another sip. So cheers to you. That's good. And do you do this too in Tiny Rogues, where you kind of have to look at your catalog of capabilities again, just to kind of remind yourself? I had the different triggers going on combat start, and there will be some additional triggers along the way. I'm still looking to put together a build with Goat Force and Swagger. It sounds so funny to say that I'm looking for my own capability, but I'll tell you what a time. What a time. Never thought I'd be added to a video game, let alone a overwhelmingly positive video game out on the Steams. Just an awesome indie developer we have here in Ruby Dev. So thank you to Ruby for making that all happen. So December was phenomenal, and I will tell you, in the beginning of the month, I thought, boy, I don't know how this is going to go. It's a busier month for folks. Will people still tune in as much? Because again, if you were here with us for the November update, you know that month was just absolutely bonkers. November brought in, well, a ton of views. I don't have those numbers in front of me directly, but I do recall that the revenue of the channel was $175 US. We had never done anything near that in the previous months, and we'll get into that a little bit so that you can have a feel for the growth overall. But I had some worries that maybe December was going to be way down, and I had heard other creators out there saying, boy, December's a tough month. Can I just say, the whole attempting to brew a potion thing, I'm not 100% sure at how to make correct choices in doing this. And then I wasn't even sure where the potion went. I was kind of searching around for it. And then, of course, I realized that, oh, it's that green bottle. Because of course it is. So there you have it. Potion. I heard some other creators out there saying, I think things have slowed down a bit, but I think it's because people are busy. They're out there doing the shopping and doing the family stuff and, all those good things that come up in December. It's a busier time. And sometimes work-wise, and I heard from some of you in the comments saying that, oh, I've been busy with work. They're trying to jam everything through. This guy always gets me hung up a little bit with the pink petals. Sometimes I have to go further back as to avoid getting hit. But as long as I don't get hit by the green ones and end up with the status effect, I don't like getting poisoned. So anyway, long story short, I had my concerns. I was going to be fine either way, There's going to be down months. It's going to happen. I've heard large content creators out there with many more subscribers than our channel say, hey, even if I wanted to right now, the income, going full time would be so inconsistent that there would be quite a risk being taken. Gift boxes contain an additional heart. I didn't really want to do that. This seemed interesting to me, but it also hurt my brain for a second. Luck and curse are equal to the greater of the two values. I try and stay away from curse, so I didn't see how that would help me overall. I did take it just because sometimes I take things because I want to sell them eventually instead of using them. Thought a lot about the Rubik's Cube here too. A lot of you commented the other day, and I appreciate that, weighing in and saying it produces a point of luck, which when you're the gunslinger, that can really pay off. But I thought, man, that's a lot of damn rooms before that would attune. And I'm probably going to find all kinds of good stuff along the way. So anyway, didn't go with it. And I had the 30, so why not, right? Around that point, I figured out that I also went to the law store instead of the store that makes you good so that you can get into heaven. That was a little bit of a mistake, but I'll tell you right now, it's going to be all right. Everything's going to be fine. So let's get into the actual numbers here. We had a total of about 40,000 views, and that ended up being about 3 times higher than months like July, August, and September. The 40,000 views resulted in around 5,200 hours of watch time. Now, like I said, in the beginning of the month, things were rolling a lot slower. But when we got towards the end of the month, that's when I was able to start showing off the Between Heaven and Hell content for Tiny Rogues. And there was and continues to be a ton of interest in those videos. So thank you to all of you. If you are someone who watched any of those Tiny Rogues videos, you helped with that. And I think as of today, I think we've given away... Oh, look at this. Look what just showed up. On dash, trigger an ancestral goat to charge at the nearest enemy. It's wonderful every time it shows up. I was really, really hoping that Swagger was going to show up. We also have the whole ruthless hit thing. Keep that in mind, the ruthless hit thing, because that's going to come into play. We talked about the lightning attacks early on. Just think about the wide range of damage in the lightning attacks. That's where I was just doing a quick review of everything. Usually once I level up, I'll just take another quick look at everything. And I was good with the gold because of the whole piggy bank companion thing that we've got going. Figured build that up a little bit. Now, things got a lot happier in this run once the goat showed up, right? So we have one Tiny Rogues video that has hit right around 11,000 views, and that is one of the most viewed videos on the channel right now. And people are continuing to watch the video as well, which is great. I'm glad people are seeing it. I hope that they see it and then they go out and wishlist Tiny Rogues, or maybe they purchase Tiny Rogues, because it's important to me that that independent developer gets supported. I think that that's how we potentially get additional versions of the game. I've seen people comment and say, my goodness, how about a Switch release for Tiny Rogues? I mean, I'm imagining that would be very, very good and very, very popular. It would be a great game on the Switch. I mean, honestly, it would be a great game on any platform it was put on, because Tiny Rogues is a great game. It really is. It really is. And this guy was kind of challenging. He stuck around a little bit longer than I was wanting him to. But that's okay, because we're going to make up for that very soon. Stick around. It's going to get good. I looked at this for a second, with it being the primary attack of lightning damage. But ultimately I knew that we needed a gun. So I thought, well, we'll hold out here. Go with something interesting that is probably going to fetch some cash, or do a reroll and see what shows up. Multiple ways to skin a cat. And then I thought, well, that's interesting, because I think I have a lot of dexterity. Let me confirm that. You got 16. So that's looking pretty good. December also brought another gigantic boost to our community size. I'll tell you, we continue to have record months with new additions to this community, which is really cool. I'm glad that you see the content and you decide that you want to hang out longer with us and continue to pop in and hang out. I'm glad for that. I'm sorry for your wallets, because many of you are going to see games that you find interesting. So interesting so that you might pop into the Steams or the Epics or wherever you like to buy games, and you're going to trade some of your cash for said games. I thought this would be interesting to get the additional heart. I don't know that I cared deeply about the whole stamina surge thing. Maybe I should have. If that gun caught your eye, it caught my eye as well. I was interested in the whole chain lightning piece, but I knew we needed a gun. And then I saw that the secondary attack also does a chain lightning that deals 15 to 1595. Still wanted to look at the others, but given that that other one looked like a wand, yeah, I thought, oh my. And this is where things really started to get wild in the best way. The plan was beginning to come together. Complemented, of course, by blue spectral goats. You can never have enough of them. So I want to re-welcome the 352 new subscribers that joined us in December. We're all super glad that you're out here with us, enjoying Rogues, and helping enable the giveaways that we do. Speaking of which, I haven't firmly decided yet that I want to do around 200 giveaways for next year. I figure we might as well get some beer. You can have a level of tipsiness that is equal with the number of hearts that you have. So I figured, hey, why not buy a couple? Let's not go too crazy because, again, we've got to keep up a certain level of wealth so that we get the added benefit of the companion that we have. But then this was kind of perfect to end up here and just get paid in a big way, I thought. I wonder if they pay a little bit better in the illegal market that we're in right now versus going to the pawn shop. It always feels like they do. But of course, I'm not sure because I haven't compared directly the different amounts that you get. Yeah, I did consider the honeycomb, but I thought, well, I don't know if we're going to get additional weight at some point, so maybe we'll hold off on that. I took a look at the guns, but again, I was pretty sold on what we had so far. But then I knew we were going to grab some of this kind of stuff as well, because we were already beyond the limit of the buff that the companion gives you. So I thought that made sense to do. So 352 new subscribers. That's super, super exciting. Let's get into where we're at with revenue growth. Look at the lightning just chaining. Isn't that awesome? It's going to get even better, if you can imagine that. Yeah, it is. So I want to talk about some of the other months first to give you this perspective. First, I want to watch this boss battle. He took a second there, but here went down pretty well and didn't even have a chance to do his whole beam of death, try to dodge me thing. If you know, you know. Oh, look at that. Didn't want the Syntreads, but +1 to luck. Yes. I thought it made sense to do that. The lucky hits are just so good with the Gunslinger, because you're getting that passive where it repeats your attack. I was very happy that that decided to show up. Sometimes the RNG just... Oh man, it really has your back, and it's super exciting when it comes together. I know that Swagger hadn't showed up yet, but... Hey. There was still time, right? Could that be foreshadowing? Maybe. So in September, the channel brought in $57.56. Now, folks, this is where things got really good, just as an aside. This Best Friends Forever. If you have only one companion, it is a 300% increase to the buff being provided. And we were already at the highest amount of buff that you can get from a cash standpoint. Now look at it. 200% additional damage. Holy cannoli. Yep. Now, we're going to be clearing rooms like nobody's business. This is where a fun run got even more ridiculous. Let's take a sip here. Cheers to you on a 200% damage modifier with an already nasty build. Yeah, that worked out okay. And only one soul, cost-wise. Good stuff. Might as well upgrade the hell out of the gun. We know we're sticking with it. So $57.56 in September. In October, there was a nice little bump. And we brought in $76.40. When we got to November, the channel revenue screamed all the way up to $176.33. And we need to watch this. That should be illegal. And that should also be illegal. Like multiple felonies illegal. What a run. What a build so far, right? I mean, I was super excited at this point. I thought, oh my goodness, we're going to knock on heaven's door and then just kick it down and chew bubble gum and, you know, all that stuff. If you know, you know. So we shot all the way up to 176.33 in November. And that's why I was also concerned when we got to December and things were slower. I thought, oh boy. I mean, November was going to be a lot to live up to anyways because of that. Getting full stacks of speed boost whenever you create a chain lightning, and your chain lightnings chain +1 additional time. Oh, buddy. And I didn't even have a set of gloves where I needed to say, oh goodness, what's better? Should I really do this? You know those moments where the game's really pulling on you in both directions. You want to pull out a calculator real quick? Don't do that. Don't do that. Just go with it. Just go with your gut. Don't pull out a calculator. All right, now we go to the good shop. Start trying to earn some good status via some purchases. I kind of felt like, well, I've got to do something here. Didn't want that. At least we were making progress toward the door to heaven. I wonder if there's going to be some different ways along the way to change your standings from neutral. Some good stuff there. So we had the slower start, but then Tiny Rogues happened in a very big way and continues to happen in a very big way. And I will argue with you that those videos and support from our members, which we'll get into in a moment here, pushed us up to an overall December 2023 revenue of $165.89. That's outstanding, folks. And we have been able to do multiple giveaways. So thank you to all of you for doing that. And I'm excited that we were able to give away so many copies of Tiny Rogues in December. We will probably continue giving away some copies of Tiny Rogues in January, along with some other games. There's a game that you will see later this week that is currently under embargo. But if you like Bullet Heavens, I think you're going to like what you see here. Your percent modifiers to movement speed also apply to attack speed. You know, that one, to be honest with you, always throws me for a little bit of a loop. The agility one, the way it pops up and shows you how that multiplier works. Look at this. On non-triggered lucky hit, trigger a chain lightning that deals 87 to, 8,300 lightning damage. What a time for lightning, folks. Right? Look at that. You see the yellow? That's what it was. Lovely. Those were just going to be pawnable. You know, I always like to thank our channel members with individual shout-outs each month. That's super important to me. And I was excited to see that we welcomed 3 new members in December, and we're currently at a total of 14 channel members that are offering additional support to the channel and to the giveaways that we do. And I want to thank all of them right after this. Holy smokes, folks. Holy cow. I mean, what do you even say? What do you even say after something like that? I'm telling you, multiple felonies issued, right? Holy cow. Holy goats, Batman. I mean, the goats are there. There's no cows. So, let's thank the members. At the Goat Scout level, we have Kombucha Kong, Chemical Shenanigans, Stubbs Gaming, Charo Charo, Rhinoc, Back from the Dead 1, Maddie KO, and Fails Too Much. Thank you to all of you. At the Bleat Boxer level, we have Hibben, ESC, Gypsy Carnage, and Misguided. Thank you to all of you for the support. And at the Horned Hero level, we have OFC and that guy. Thank you to both of you. Thank you to all of you for the additional support. Really, really appreciate it. If any of you are interested in becoming a member, there is a link in the video description that will take you to the sign-up page. you'll get access to the first episode of my new monthly cooking show, Cheat Days with the Goat, and you'll get to use cool goat and coffee themed emojis in your comments. Now look, I know that they're emojis. I know that. But I like to call them egoticons. I think I should probably trademark that term for emojis that are goat-themed. Egoticons, right? Hey, look, it's another black market. Which was fine with me because, again, I got stuff to get rid of. And sometimes there's some really good stuff in here, too. The soul cost can be kind of high at times. I knew I wanted that one because, hell, you can always utilize another block or evade. But didn't make sense to even check out the weapons and such because I was completely sold on what we were doing. And look at how fast we're clearing these rooms. Yeah. I'm sure you have had runs where you just start to feel bad about what you're doing out there. And yeah, this was right around that point. Guaranteed epic, hard to turn down. Especially when the other thing is cursed. Archpontiff, it was a grand opening and grand closing. We're sorry again. It's a sorry, not sorry, isn't it? So folks, thanks so much for an awesome December. I'm excited about what we're all going to continue to do out here together as a combined force of goats trying to do awesome things for each other and bigger things, like I've mentioned before, in partnering with that organization that builds the go-karts, the mobile gaming stations for children's hospitals. We will do that at some point in time. And probably what we're going to do is try and do more giveaways than we did in 2023, which I don't think is going to be hard with what revenue is doing right now. Again, I know it's going to fluctuate, but I think we've gotten to a good zone, and I think that there's going to be some baller types of releases this year that are going to garner traffic. You know, you might have heard there is a game coming out at some point this year. We don't know when yet, but at some point this year, there's a little game called Hades 2 that's supposed to come out. And I'm very excited about that. We're going to get our hands on that game, and believe you me, we will be giving away copies of that game. How many? No idea. It's probably going to be a more expensive game. But we will give away as many copies as possible and as makes sense for what we're trying to do. Anyway, probably a combination of giveaways and putting money aside for the larger venture. See, I'm talking about total movement speed modifiers plus 32%. And then there was a multiplier times 0%. And I'm never quite sure as to whether that's a good thing to consider or not. That said, though, I knew either way we were going to be taken care of because of the build. I was all right with it. I like the look of this guy. I know we didn't see him for very long, and for that I feel badly. things were just so busted at this point. That also made me happy, so 30% increased companion damage. Why not re-roll it, right? See what we get. It was worth it, wasn't it? Now, things are going to get even dirtier. I knew we had to make some purchases, and was I kicking myself for not looking at that first? 100%. Yes. Should have looked first. I think I could have afforded it. I'd have to go back and rewatch the last few seconds. And I didn't even realize that it was unaffordable. I feel like every time I play the game, I make a slight error in judgment, and it actually ends up helping a future run. I think I am that person that needs to learn by scraping my knee at times. And I think that works out okay. So happy to see those guys get taken down so fast. I really wasn't sure about this thing because I didn't want it to make me bad, and that's why I turned it down initially. I don't know that I'm sure what it does to this point. I don't know if I went back and looked at that or not. We are doing a debuff at this point. But I just thought, you know, we're cruising along so good. I don't know that it makes a difference at this point. I was excited to get to this point. I wanted to leave some souls. I thought, you know, we're gonna melt this guy, I'm pretty sure. The spectral goat just does so much damage as well. Not bad, right? Yeah, highly, highly recommend a chain lightning build. Grants 10% increased damage depending on how lawful you are. 0%. The Mana Star thing. Increased attack speed based on critical chance hit. That was another one of those where I just said, hey, let's just grab it. To sell. We've got a great build. Now it's time to go into the early gates. With the sole purpose of raising hell. Kind of funny, right? You get to heaven to do battle. Gotta go lucky hit when you get a Gunslinger. I really like the design of those. I'm gonna call them dragon worms. Maybe they're just dragons. I think the enemies in this area are really neat. They got a cool design to them. Didn't want the curse. You got 100 gold. You go for the shop. And then I was so happy that I did this because you're getting +1 to your alignment as well. And I was super concerned that I wasn't aligned enough. Yeah, that was me trying to drag an item out of the side inventory. You can't do that. It's not a thing. The Twilight Branch is really neat, but I didn't know if it would take off the current enchantment on the weapon that I liked so much, so I decided not to use that. But I thought, you know what, I've got to buy one other thing to make sure I'm pure good. And there it is. Pure good. We're ready. We're ready to get in. Granted an invite officially. As long as we could make it, you know, I thought, God, this build, I think it's going to be okay. But we might as well pile on and make it even better with all these ridiculous foods that pop up in this extended zone, right? Well, attack speed, you just love to see it. Look at how fast. I hope everybody had an awesome New Year's. Look at this. Crazy. As well pop a few goats out, right? I actually really like the design of this section. All the beams that shoot out. Yeah, it feels so good to take down a tough boss like that in the way that we did. Do I think that there should be a higher chance of spotting a legendary when you take down one of the major bosses? Yeah, I do. I do. That's all right, though. Again, there's a chance that I might not even have put it on because of how strong the build was at that point. And we went over to my brother-in-law's for New Year's Eve, and we just kind of ate our way through it with appetizers, one appetizer after the next. And he's so cool. One of the things that he set up was a nacho bar. Look, I know that we didn't need the golden pine resin, but damn it. If it pops up, I'm taking it. I'm taking advantage of it. Right? You gotta do it. There's some really good offerings in here. No bombs. That's okay though, it's a mana related offering, which don't really need those. Let's be honest, did we really need anything at this point? Ridiculous build. Get yourself some chain lightning as a gunslinger. So it was the typical array of items on the nacho bar. He also included chorizo. You like chorizo? Just outstanding. And don't worry, I used a very healthy amount of chorizo. Several spoonfuls were added. It seems you've bested my loyal guardian, Bahamut. Standing before me, it's clear your heart is pure. Yet you keep waging forward on your path of destruction. Your unending ambitions are evident as ever. You keep defying the tapestry of fate again and again, even as far as challenging the very heavens themselves. Tell me, mortal, are you prepared to face your ultimate trial? Justice shall prevail. I don't know about that, Eden. I don't know about that. Now look, Eden held her own longer than I thought in that initial phase. You fight with radiant determination. For your final gift, mortal, I shall stop holding back. I really like the look of Eden. Very colorful. And look at that attack. I mean, at some point, you're just out of dashes, so I got concerned there for a second. There's our Abyss key, one of the 3 keys required. Blessed be your light, your grace. Don't drink the yellow liquid. It is a run ender. Unless you want to end the run, don't drink the yellow. Let thirst prevail. Trust me. They're all humbled to be in our presence. Take a seat on the throne. You have accomplished the impossible. You've become the embodiment of purity. Praise the sovereign. Chosen by the light. We pray to you. A new era of purity dawns. A mortal no longer. Now ruling the high heavens. But even the glory of becoming a god eventually fades into eternity. Yes, folks, we did it. We did the thing. And that's very exciting for one big reason. Remember we talked about wanting to open up the next character? There he is. A blend of human and machine, the cyborg uses their cybernetic enhancements in battle, merging intellect with advanced technology. Each trait selection, you are offered at least one cybernetic augment trait. Wow. Folks, we are going to have an excellent time with the cyborg in a future run. Thank you so much for hanging out, and we'll see you next time. Take care.